In this video, I will show you guys the power of understanding vision and tempo using the G2 versus Fnatic Game 1 in the LEC season finals from both the POV of mikyx and Trimby. To start off, I will give a short explanation on tempo and vision and what it means. Tempo refers to the ability to make a play, which can simply be vision, an objective like Dragon, or take up more aggressive space, faster than your opponent. Vision control refers to the ability to create and control where you place your wards and deny the enemy from entering, sweeping, or retaking without losing something around the map. The clip starts out with G2 being around 1.5k gold ahead with a second Rift Herald spawning. Because BB has TP disadvantage on the bot side, mikyx does a smart move going through his lane and unlocking his move towards the top side of the map. With BB having the first move and the other Fnatic members showing on the top side vision of G2, Mickey pulls the trigger on Noah with the information gap. After this, G2 takes quite a greedy play on the two other members of Fnatic and a close fight ensues. Regardless if the fight is won or not for G2, I want you guys to see how quick they are to assess the map and understand if they are ahead or behind on tempo and where to place vision for the next objective. mikyx constantly uses his Rakan W to get tempo over walls to save seconds that end up mattering in the end. With Dragon coming up, mikyx knows that his tempo is perfectly ahead of Fnatic and ends up getting full vision of Fnatic entering, as well as him securing a game-winning flank. We all remember this as the fight where Broken Blade pops off, but what allows him to do so in this case is also the vision that Mickey dropped, as well as him having a very sneaky flank. Look at it from the POV of Trimby. It appears as if he gets a great engage on Rel, but without the knowledge of Mickey, it ends up costing them the fight. G2 end up winning this fight, and Mickey once again realizes he is up on tempo versus Trimby. With this information, Mickey once again W's over several walls to be first in the river and secure vision control on the top side of the map. A small tip for you guys when you are trying to push vision in the enemy jungle is to think about what zones you can realistically control. Putting a ward super deep in the jungle will not do much as you can't realistically contest if it gets swept. Notice how Mickey puts one pink ward in the red banana bush and one over the herald, both wards being protected from being swept by Trimby because of their position in relation to the threat of G2 when they're on the herald. Another tip is to spread out your wards so that they all don't get swept by the same sweeper. It's not great if you put two wards very close to each other because if the jungle and support walk through there with two sweepers, they can get both instantly. You want to make the value of the enemy sweeper and pink wards as low as possible when you're securing vision control. This vision leads to Broken Blade being able to chunk out Trimby and forcing his ult. All the while, the pressure of G2 potentially starting Baron with their high Baron damage comp of Azir and Kai'Sa keeps forcing Fnatic to stay around in the top side. Showing this from Trimby's perspective, you can see how dangerous it appears for them to enter the Baron area against G2. Razork moves up slightly too far and gets K'Sante ulted by BB and gets to force flash. Without any blue trinkets and no wards on Trimby, Fnatic have gotten completely choked out of their top side solely because of the superior tempo and vision control from G2. There hasn't been a big fight, they just have gotten picked off and be forced to use spells due to the lack of control they have and the pressure of Baron. With G2 once again having the Summoner spell, vision and tempo lead, they opt in for a base so they can then set up for Baron with the lack of blue wards and Razork's flash. BB pushes out two waves on bot and then starts moving up to the top side with the rest of the team. Trimby feels he needs to base to refresh his wards in order to keep the control in top side, as he knows it will be a hard contest when BB gets there. Once again, G2 with the tempo, Summoner spell and vision lead on the top side feel confident to push their lead further with a Baron start. They know that Razork can't realistically get in as long as mikyx marks him and pushes him off. Having lost multiple fights in a row and feeling choked out of the game, Fnatic opt for a 5v5 teamfight. Unfortunately for them, Yike lands a sick Rel engage and Fnatic get completely wiped out, G2 only losing Hans. Something I thought that was really good by G2 here is how they push out every wave before Dragon spawns. This once again puts Fnatic in a losing position if they want to contest Dragon. And even if they do, it buys a lot of time for the G2 Baron push on mid or bot if someone from Fnatic wants to shove out top hard. mikyx once again has tempo lead over Trimby and enters bot side first, fully warding it up and Hex Flash Wing on Noah to force his flash. Seeing Humanoid on the top wave, G2 feel confident to run it down mid lane as there's no real threat on them from either side of the vision that Mickey has secured. With the bot inhib tower being down, G2 secures 2 inhibs with this push alone and only lose a top tower in response, which ultimately leads to them closing out the game a couple minutes later. So in the span of 9 minutes, G2 managed to secure 3 winning fights, countless of summoners, and constant vision pressure due to them understanding and abusing tempo advantage on the highest level. A lot of people seem to think winning fights rely solely on mechanics, but in a lot of these fights, Fnatic played mechanically well too. A lot of the times it will come down to information and map pressure, something that G2 abuses way better than every other EU team at the moment. What you can take away from this video and apply to your own games. 1. Think about tempo, death timers, and if you have abilities like Rakan W or Nautilus Q to cheat time on the map and be faster than your opponent. 2. Think about what objective is next, if you can fight it, and if not, then what you can cross-map for, which can be securing vision on the other side of the map, basing to refresh your wards for the next contest, etc. 3. Understand how wards can and cannot be placed. Don't place them too deep even if you're ahead if you cannot contest the area. Draw a battle line and be aggressive if the enemy oversteps that line. If you guys liked the video, please leave a like and make sure you subscribe. And if you didn't, then you can also dislike. Hope you guys found it informative and have a great day. Thank you.